How's it going, everyone? It's SavageSkull. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game that I really have fallen in love with recently, and I want to just talk about because it is just so great. Today we're going to talk about Cuphead, and as someone who said he'd never try out a 2D game, I was really surprised at just how creative Cuphead was. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video, and let's jump right into it. Cuphead is a run-and-gun video game developed and published by Studio MDHR. It was released in 2017 and has gained a massive fan base since then. The game is set in the 1930s and follows the story of Cuphead and his brother Mugman, who have lost a bet to the devil and are now forced to collect souls of the devil's debtors to repay their own debt. The player can choose to play as either Cuphead or Mugman, and the game features both single-player and co-op modes. One of the standout features of Cuphead is its hand-drawn retro-style graphics. The game is designed to look like a classic cartoon from the 1930s, and it does a really nice job of doing so, complete with black and white segments of the game and a limited color palette as well. The animation is incredibly smooth, and the attention to detail within the art is really impressive. The music is also fantastic, a mix of 1930s jazz and big band tracks that perfectly capture the game's vintage aesthetic. The gameplay of Cuphead is challenging but fair. The player can choose between simple or normal difficulty levels, and each level consists of a series of boss battles. The controls are tight and super responsive, and you have access to a variety of weapons and abilities that can be upgraded as you progress throughout the game. The boss battles are intense and require quick reflexes and careful strategy to beat. It's clear that the game wants you to learn, and that's one of my favorite parts about this game is the experience you get from fighting the bosses and how good you feel after you beat them. You can also purchase upgrades like new weapons and new abilities, and it's interesting to see how you get deep into the game and how you can be able to progress after completing a bunch of boss battles. You can wander around the map, meet really interesting NPCs, which I think are really cute and fun, but I really enjoy the way that Cuphead allows you to make the experience your own. It's not linear, it's not open world. Either way, you can complete different levels in any way you want, and you can kind of make the map and the game's experience truly your own. The boss battles themselves are actually really unique and fun, and each is handled differently. My favorite part about the boss battles is just how short each boss battle is. They're not like those Elden Ring boss battles where you make it 5/6 the way through, and you've wasted 30 minutes because you died to an attack that you really had no control over. But that's really the greatest thing about Cuphead. Each boss battle takes between 1 to 2 minutes, at least for me, and it's really easy to learn, and again, it's very clear that the game wants you to learn and progress throughout the game by learning and defeating all the bosses. Another standout piece of Cuphead is the game's story. Now, you can kind of skip through the story, and I typically don't play games for the story, but Cuphead's story is really fun and unique. The story itself is simple but really effective. Cuphead and Mugman's quest to repay their debt to the devil is the main driving force behind the game, and the various boss battles provide a sense of progression and purpose when you progress through the game. The dialogue between the characters is minimal, but the cutscenes that play before each boss battle provide a bit of context and character development as well. The boss battles themselves are also an important part of the story in Cuphead. Each boss represents a different debtor of the devil and has their own unique personality, design, and moveset. The player learns more about each boss and their motivations through the cutscenes before the battle and through the battle itself. The boss battles are intense and again require quick reflexes and careful strategy to defeat, and their defeat represents a step closer to Cuphead and Mugman's ultimate goal in this story. Using the boss battles as a means to progress the narrative and provide character development is something that Cuphead does really well, and again, the vintage aesthetic and charming character design adds to the overall appeal of the game, especially when the cutscenes of the story are playing. While the dialogue is minimal and the story is not particularly deep, the story serves its purpose and helps to keep the player engaged in the game. I really enjoy this game, but there are a few quick negatives I want to get out of the way. One of the main reasons for my negative experience with Cuphead was the difficulty level. The game is notoriously challenging, with each level consisting of a series of intense boss battles constantly. While I don't mind a good challenge, the difficulty in Cuphead often felt cheap and unfair. Many of the boss battles require really precise timing and quick reflexes, and just a single mistake can result in a game over. This can be frustrating for you guys who just want to progress through the game and enjoy the story. So if you're really not super intense gaming, this game might give you a false impression with its cutesy graphics and thumbnail on the Steam page. Looks really simple, like a kid's game, but this game is anything but. It's super challenging, and honestly, the challenge makes it all the more fun. However, the controls in Cuphead were also a major issue for me. While they're generally responsive, there were times where my characters didn't seem to respond to my inputs, which resulted in unnecessary deaths once again, and this can be frustrating, especially when combined with the game's high difficulty level. Cuphead is something I would not recommend to most players. I would recommend it to you if you want to learn and have fun, but if you get easily frustrated and you absolutely hate rage games, stick away from Cuphead, stick away from Elden Ring, stick away from anything that challenges you, and don't grow as a gamer. Because this game really forces you to grow and learn, which is definitely my favorite thing about Cuphead. Overall, Cuphead is an excellent video game that is a must-play for fans of run and gun games, or anyone who appreciates vintage cartoons, or just a good old challenge. The graphics and music are top-notch, and the gameplay is challenging but rewarding. The only downside is that the game is relatively short, but that has been fixed with the new DLC, which I haven't played yet because I don't have enough Steam money for it. However, the difficulty of the levels and option to play them through co-op mode adds some replay value to that as well. Cuphead is a beautifully crafted game that combines challenging gameplay with stunning visuals and a fantastic soundtrack. It's a great addition to any gamer's library and is definitely worth checking out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm SavageSkull. Have you played Cuphead? Let me know if you have, and tell me what you think of it in the comments below. Is it too hard? Is it super fun? I had a great time with the game. And by the way, guys, don't forget to leave a like on this video so other people can watch it. Share it with your friends, your neighbors, your grandmother. I'm sure they'd all love this video. Don't forget to like the video. And as always, I will see you beautiful people on the flip side. Thanks for watching.